Giovanni, it's a pleasure to be here with you talking about your game Lostbound that you are developing.
Thanks.
We want to know more about your game that looks really promising. So, can you introduce, before that, can you introduce yourself and also briefly tell us more about the game you are working on?
Sure. I'm Giovanni Debidda, the main developer and author of Lostbound. As developer, I'm also called Tenkarider. So who I am? First of all, I'm a game designer, a senior game designer, since it's more than 5 years that I'm developing games. And Lostbound is gonna be the fifth game I worked on. I also collaborated to other games. About Lostbound,
Yes.
Well, the genre is a hybrid genre. It's not easy to classify. The easier I can come with is that the roguelite. Sorry, that's it's another thing I'm gonna mention later. I'll tell more about that too later. Lostbound is a roguelite and RPG game. After several feedbacks, I realized that means pretty much that it's a Zelda-like. You will see in this recording that there are several game modes like world map, dungeon, and battle. And those layers in part can be found also in the old Zelda games.
Interesting. So there are different gameplay type. We have sandbox exploration, for example, and also procedural dungeons crawling, right?
Yes, it's important to mention that aside sharing several elements with Zelda, in particular, it's a roguelite.
Okay.
And that can change several things because the core gimmick revolve around the fact that the run can fail and you can gain more power in several runs among a run and the next one.
So run after run, you know more about the game, the mechanics, the enemies you encounter, and you can sustain more difficult.
Indeed. Meta knowledge is extremely important in this game, but also the upgrades that you can obtain in the Abyss.
And the Abyss, okay. Do you want to talk more about what is that Abyss you told?
Exactly. This world, in particular, is characterized by a huge pool of darkness instead of the sea. If you take a look at the world map when you exit from this dungeon, you see that the lands are surrounded by an endless sea of darkness, not a sea. And from this darkness below it, several creatures comes from. In particular, the most important one is the Hand, an entity of darkness that will drag you in the abyss if it manages to grab you, because it will stalk you everywhere. It might be everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
So we have a stalker in the game. Okay.
Literally. Wherever you go, a trail of darkness will mark the ground and will consume it, destroying every part of the map in which you have passed through.
That's such an interesting fact and an original one. So I want to learn more about it. In fact, how would you describe the game to someone who has never heard of it before now, for example?
Oh, just a moment. In this precise spot, the hand is gonna grab you if you don't move, because when this red alone come appear, the hand is gonna be there. And in less than
The hand
15 seconds,
yeah. Okay.
that
Then
was
got
a
me.
close call.
Ooh.
So sometimes you can see the background is affected when you're next to a dark tile. And when, like in a moment like this one, you're gonna be in a dead end. The only way to go through is gonna be to jump inside darkness and enter in a dark dungeon.
Wow.
Those are work in a different way because you start from the bottom, you're gonna try to escape and reach the surface to save yourself from what will gonna be an inevitable destiny. Because if night comes, the hand will grab you immediately while in darkness.
Really cool concept. This about the darkest dungeons. I wanna call it. Okay.
Nice reference.
So, please tell us how would you describe your game to someone who has never heard of it before?
Yeah, the game is a hybrid classic RPG and an action RPG at the same time, with a great focus on roguelite elements. But in particular, it is darkness what makes it unique, because you're gonna deal with several aspects that normally is not gonna happen in a classic game. Because, for example, the end is gonna be to destroy wherever you go, so there are not that calm pacing that usually distinguishes RPG games. Everything revolves around darkness and the time which is gonna flow. So just doing a simple quest will gonna have several implications, like okay, you have to reach that spot, but for doing that you're gonna trace darkness and destroy the ground along the way. You're just not doing a fetch quest, for example, because that could make things gonna be very hard if it happens in the wrong spot, just to mention a minor detail.
Yeah, so there's a cool concept of level design here you are developing, because the map with this trail of darkness is destroying with the time.
Yes, you said an accurate thing, the level design, because the world map is strictly follow a very precise level design. For example, you just lost in darkness in that little niche at the beginning of the game, because that's a very precise spot in which if darkness will gonna destroy the ground, you're gonna be in serious troubles.
Can you, because maybe sometime can you be blocked, for example, a hard or soft block with the darkness following you?
It always depends on where darkness is gonna destroy the map, because if you're in a wide space it doesn't matter really much, but strict corridors, let's say it's a world map, there's not a corridor, but those narrow passages are very critical for world map destruction, because it's where you can risk to fail your run. Okay,
so there's a concept of a strategic movement in the map.
Exactly. Okay. And also randomness are involved here, because if your next artifact that you're gonna find after this one...
And there are a lot of artifacts, you said.
Yeah. According to the mod, there are also twice the artifacts you're gonna need to find. If an artifact decides to be placed exactly in the spot in which you just started the run, it's gonna happen that you're gonna pass 2 times from that narrow passage, and that can increase a lot the risk of getting stuck in a critical position.
Okay, but I suppose and I hope that there will be maybe artifacts that can let you overpass the darkness. Is it a possibility?
Yes, there's an artifact that allows to work wherever you want in darkness, even it's a late game artifact.
Okay, because it's
What
not overpowered. Okay.
In the meantime, you'll need to manage properly your path and time properly where you want to go, in which moment, for which purpose. You can also decide when things get tough,
Okay.
that you're gonna need to jump inside darkness, like you did the previous time, in order to have a chance to get past darkness. You have also two tools to help yourself in such moments, like the flash step, a red button in the bottom left corner of the UI that allows you to escape immediately from a dungeon, battle, wherever, and return immediately in world map. That can be used as a bridge to get through a square of darkness. The other useful instrument is the time rune, which blocks the flow of time, and when it's active, this darkness won't mark the ground while active, and also won't destroy it. That can help to not destroy the narrow paths that might put you in danger.
Okay, super interesting. I have another question for you that I'm curious about. So,
Yeah.
it's a cool game, and I want to know more. Where did the initial idea for the project come from? Was there a specific maybe inspiration behind it? You talk about Zelda also before.
Yeah, the core reference surely are quite precise. Despite I told it's a Zelda, like actually it comes from two games. The core reference, which is the Binding of Isaac for the dungeon, and
I love that
half
game.
minute. Yeah, my bro spent countless hours in it. I just watched him playing, but I watched a lot of times, so I know some detail about it.
Yeah, so you can play Lostbound for a lot of time, I think, with this procedural dynamic.
Yes, there's a lot of replayability of this game, and there are also several endings and a lot of unlockables. Each run will grant you dark matter, but also will be a chance to trigger unlockables, which can be new quests, new artifacts, new weapons, new events. And that can lead to several endings. It can take a significant amount of hours to just unlock the first ending. There are 3 at least.
Because other than a lot of combat in dungeons, a lot of different artifacts, so you tell me that there also a narrative behind the game, the story.
The story is not
Not
so
the main
complicated.
part. Okay.
Yeah, there are a few details. There's a slight trace of lore, but it's not story
It's not a story-driven game,
reliant.
but there's a story behind it.
Yeah. If you ask me where the inspiration came from, the best I can tell you for now is I think that it's a very significant part of me. Let's say that a piece of darkness of my soul has been shaped into this game.
Okay. So you put yourself into the game quite literally.
Almost, yeah.
Okay.
I hope one day I'll be able to prove it better with more elements than just a description, yeah.
And so, what are the the original or distinctive elements of this game, for example?
What is more representative of this game?
No, what are the original elements of this game? For example, the unique selling points, if you want to talk to someone who has never seen this game.
Aside the roguelite features and this unique combination of genres that I realized almost nowhere can be found in a similar way. I can say that this way the world map is handled with darkness and all those features is a sort of unique world map management system.
It's a cool thing. For example, the darkness in the world map is a sort of resource to manage.
In particular, the ground is your main resource along with time. The most precious one, because the others can somehow renewed. In this case, it will never come back. You can just slow and manage better how it will be consumed.
Okay, super cool. And so, developing a game, I think it's quite difficult. And also, you're doing yourself or with a little team, or you're doing solo?
At this point, I might say almost solo, but not precisely, because a talented artist is helping me with the graphics.
Yeah, the graphics is really cool.
We can also say that in any case there's a team behind that helps with the external stuff like communication, marketing, and all that stuff that happens outside the game. But not just that, because as I mentioned before, I mentioned the name of a game, the Rogue of Nexus,
yes.
Which is we can say that this is the remake of the Rogue of Nexus. The game pretty much works the same way. However, we have changed the art of this game. And not only that, because since the launch of the game, I spent several years in improving all what already exists in the game,
yes.
Adding new content and polishing also user experience, in particular UI and tutorial, because it was a real mess to manage all that stuff.
So compared to all your previous experience, for example, with the Rogue of Nexus and the game you published before. So what have you improved in your development process?
Well, I don't know if we can contextualize the development process, because mostly what I'm working about in the recent months is new features that the one before, so it's not like I reiterated the development process for this game, but if I would have to plan a new game, probably I'll follow a different approach and iterate faster, shorter cycles of development. For example, the game design, instead of spending a huge chunk of time making the whole document up to the release, I'd expand it slowly and starting with focus on the core elements, because otherwise when you realize you need to do some drastic changes, you realize that you wasted a lot of time.
And about that, I really have a lot of questions for you. For example, about the development process and working as an indie developer.
Yeah.
So, from your point of view, what is like to work in independent game development in Italy, because you are in Italy today?
Yeah.
What are for you the main opportunity and challenges working indie?
Well, the challenges, I think that it's a bit a wild environment, we can say. uh, since budgets are limited because the publisher outside this country, we all know, I think, you need to manage properly, first of all, your resources, but you also need to develop quickly a big awareness on what is your speed, your skills, what you can do within a certain amount of time, and how this can be planned for the development of your game, and most importantly, the scope of this game, because you need to do some math, let's say. You need to know that you're gonna do the X amount of work within epsilon amount of time, and that should match with the budget and the deadline, because otherwise something will surely go wrong, rest assured.
Exactly, and you know the time in doing that by doing and developing, not before.
Sorry?
You know the estimate time for the scope by doing game, by developing game.
Yeah, experience. That is a strong implication that your first project will gonna be a mess. You're gonna fail several development process, but you know it's not a problem failing. Actually, it's the fastest way to learn to make good games and working in an optimal way along your career.
Yeah, there's also a motto, fail faster. You face some big design challenge in your path developing Lostbound?
Actually, for the moment, I can say it's pretty chill, but I think the hard part is gonna start right now after I develop the demo.
Oh, because there will be a demo available soon?
Actually, as we speak right now, the demo is already available.
Oh, perfect.
So you
so
can
right
already
now run and play and test the demo, because feedback for indie developer are super important, and also if you want to support more Giovanni, you can of course play the demo, give feedback, and also wishlist the game of Steam, Lostbound.
Yeah, please, that will help us a lot.
Yes, absolutely. So please do it.
Totally.
There's something else you would like to add to the viewer that are listening to us?
Well, I think I said a lot of stuff. I won't spoil further the concept of the game at this point. Just travel in this world of darkness and know how to go beyond what we just showed to you.
Okay, perfect. So obviously that's not all, because this is just the beginning. So please.
Yeah, it's just a tiny little fraction of the demo, let alone the full game.
Yeah, the game, for example, how big it will be?
The first area of the demo is barely a tenth of the world map.
Okay, so it will be huge.
Yeah, there are hundreds of quests, 80 artifacts, 20 weapons. There are a lot of content. It can last for several tens of hours just to reach the first ending.
Okay, perfect. So if you like games like the old Zelda, Binding of Isaac, and you like dungeon crawler combat, strategic movement, this game, we can say, is for you.
Yeah, it has a bunch of stuff like that.
And it has a lot more, including a lot of artifacts procedurally. perfect. It's a really cool game. I already tried, and I must say it's cool. I'm playing.
Thanks.
So thank you a lot, Giovanni. If you want to say a conclusion, I will let you speak.
Nothing really much complicated. Just pay attention to the hand.
Okay, yeah, just a little bit more. So right now I'm sharing the Steam page of Lostbound because there is a Steam page where you can find the demo that right now is available, and you can also wishlist the game and read the description and see all the gifts, and that's all. Okay, so thanks so much,
Yeah.
Giovanni.
Thanks.